Hello, everyone. It's Melanie from Speaking Styles, and we are on Wednesday today. How exciting! We're halfway through the week. I hope that you've been having a good last couple of days wherever you are. And today I wanted to chat about fixed mindset and growth mindset. Hey Taz, hey Sarah, hey Edgar. It was something that, hey Stacey, I was walking along the beach this morning and I was kind of reflecting on a lot of different things that have obviously been happening for a lot of us. And I was really reflecting on around my business and in life as well. And might be the same for a lot of you on watching live or watching replay later. Like, the start of 2020, you might have mapped out your entire year of this is what you're going to achieve. You had it all set out of the goals that you wanted to achieve. And then suddenly that's turned upside down. Let me know in the comments. Give me a thumbs up if anybody can relate to that. If people were really kind of comfortable with what they were doing and what they wanted to achieve for this year. So, in a way, it's a bit of a kind of maybe fixed mindset in some of those areas, because sitting in your comfort zone of certain things that you might have been really able to do in your life and business, and then suddenly it needs to change, and you're suddenly then faced with having to then look at loads of different growth that you're going to have to be looking at over the coming months. And just to share a bit of a story for myself is that, at the start of the year, I literally mapped out all my events. I had all my speaking gigs already booked in right up until November. So everything for me was all in person. And I know for a lot of you on here today, it is the same. And I was super comfortable, right? I got to the point where I had all my workshops set out. I had everything I needed to stay up for the end of the year. I was doing my markets financially with a coach, doing all of those things, and I started to become comfortable, even though there was going to be growth throughout the year in my business. But I was super comfortable with everything that I was doing. All of my workshops, the people that I was working with, I had all my programs all set, and then now it's turned upside down. And even though I'm now creating things online that I was already sitting on, and a lot of it was resistance, a lot of it was didn't have time to do those things because I was so busy with workshops, so busy with clients, that I really didn't want to do it. And I had a bit of resistance around taking a lot of those things on Zoom, taking a lot of those things and creating programs, because there was some fear and things like that around it, because I was comfortable doing all of this in person. And I really wanted to chat about, the fixed mindset versus growth mindset. And sometimes that we can go, hey, I'm a growth mindset person. I'm in business. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly growing. However, I think when we're faced with what we're faced right now is that for a lot of people, not saying you, anybody watching here, but we can go back to that fixed mindset of, I had all my eggs in a basket. I had everything planned out for my entire year of what I needed to do. And then suddenly it's faced with flipping that. So I wanted to really just chat a little bit about the fixed mindset, the growth mindset, because, we're never always in a growth mindset in every area of our life. There's going to be times where we're fixed with routine, fixed with things that we're comfortable with, things that we do on a day-to-day basis that makes us feel safe, makes us feel comfortable. And there'll be you feel you are really good at developing and really good at growing. And, for a lot of us, having to process massive change on a massive scale is massive right now, and I am super aware of that. And I'm aware as well, for a lot of people who were doing so much face to face, is that you're going through a lot of different emotions from that. It's grief, it's loss, it's anger, it's frustration, but it's also for some people thinking, we'll be back up and running in a month's time. And I don't believe that is exactly what's going to be happening. So I was one of those people about a week ago going, I'll just tap into some online stuff, but I'll be able to start running my workshops and things like that again pretty soon. And I think that then in the last week I've realized that that is not going to happen. So if you're sitting on this right now live or watching this on replay, is that it really is, and I know that everybody's saying it's time to get online, and I don't mean it in that way. I just mean that maybe it's taking some time to go, what's some areas that I need to grow in to potentially change the way in which I offer my business? Because this could be us sitting online for the next 6 to 12 months. So it is about just going back to basics of what some areas that have really changed for you, maybe put you back in a fixed mindset to then thinking, how can I grow out of this? So I've just got some notes that I want to go through and just share with everybody. Hey to everybody else that's joined on. Hey Kylie, hey Kirsty. And I'm going to refer to some of my notes that I have here, and I'm going to put the picture, and I'm sure most of you have seen the picture around, this is a fixed mindset and this is a growth mindset. But I thought it was really good to go back to basics to become self-aware on some of those areas that you might want to start working on, and some steps in order to change that so that you can put some foundations into your life and business that you need to change, but not looking at it from a massive scale, because that's just really overwhelming, especially if you're going through a lot of financial hardship, a lot of different emotions that for a lot of us are going through. But maybe there's just other things that you can be offering your audience, offering your client base, that's just something that they're maybe able to afford, and it's just some money coming in for you as you're building some of those things. Hey Tom, so feel free if anybody has any questions or anything like that on here. So I'm just going to go over around, fixed mindset is that, people can avoid challenges, avoid being able to do anything different, compared to someone with a growth mindset who's going to embrace right now in the current situation we're in, and people with a growth mindset are going to embrace this and are going to start to put things in place to be able to adapt, be able to transfer and change, to be able to adapt to that. So when we kind of avoid some challenges, we also then, is fixed mindset, is that we see this as an obstacle right now that's happening in the world, and then we give up. And we think, you know what, I'm just going to take, a few weeks holiday, and it'll all blow over very soon, and we're just going to go back to business as normal. And whereas with a growth mindset is going to persist through this change and go, this actually could benefit my life, benefit my business, and at the other end of it, I actually have so much more to offer, and I've learned new skills out of it. And a fixed mindset is that the effort that you might need to go to right now seems really overwhelming, really challenging, and just think this is just way too much. It's way too much. I really can't be bothered with the effort to change and do something that I wasn't used to doing. Whereas the growth mindset looks at this opportunity right now is a path to mastery. Learning new skills that are going to really benefit you down the line and right now, just the same as when we used to do things in person. There would have been times where there was effort needed to put in to do certain things. Look at this opportunity as a path to the person that you're going to become, the new skills that you're going to have. Then in a fixed mindset is that people might be offering different suggestions, feedback on how you should live your life and how you should do your business now. And for some people might see that as criticism and just ignore that feedback and suggestions, because maybe it's just too much. It's too much to take on to do right now. Whereas with the growth mindset sees that when people give feedback and suggestions is that it's an area for growth, to be able to learn something new and really develop that as a person that you are. The other one around fixed mindset is that you might then be thinking and comparing yourself to loads of people now that are now online doing heaps and heaps of things and being able to really benefit from this. And as a fixed mindset, you maybe feel threatened that people are doing things that you've been wanting to do and you haven't done yet. And you feel maybe some people might feel threatened that other people are achieving success. And, you know, whereas in a growth mindset is that we're inspired by these people and we celebrate these people's successes and we can learn from them and be able to move forward with that. So, you know, and I think sometimes as well with this is that it's becoming, the first step is to becoming self-aware. And I will put the picture in this afterwards so that you can go through it and go, you know, is some of these coming up for me? Am I going back to being a fixed mindset compared to what I was? Am I stuck in fear right now of having to do something different, having to go online and go on Facebook and all of these different things? And then when we become aware of, you know, actually I have went back to being a bit of a fixed mindset because I'm scared, I feel confused, I feel overwhelmed with where I need to go. So the effort, the obstacles seem just really there in the forefront for a lot of people. It seems just really too big, the challenge, and really start to think, you know, how can I move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset? So what I want to chat about is that I'm going to give you some 4 steps that you can take to be able to start changing some of those. If you feel that, you know, that you might have taken a step back in everything in your business and in your life, then there's some simple things that you can do to be able to change that. And some of the things around that, you know, fixed mindset is that, you know, do you stick with what you know? Or with a growth mindset, do you push yourself out of your comfort zone and push yourself to the next level? And, you know, and for a lot of us, even for myself, there's certain aspects in my life that I will stick to what I know. And then there's other areas where I'm like, I'm going to just try this. And do you know what? What's the worst that's going to happen? I'm just going to try it and see what happens from there. Looking at your learning and developing skills to be able to move forward in this fast changing world that, you know, I believe we're not going to go back to business as normal. This is going to be the new norm. We're going to be doing heaps more online. We're not suddenly in a couple of months' time going to go back to business as usual, as in I believe that there will be a transition of going back to in-person events, in-person things that we're doing, because they will have to see whether the impact of what's going on, the way that we've been transitioning into quarantine and self-isolation, when we come back to coming back out to things, I believe that they will do the same coming back out. We will go from 10 people to 50 people to 100 people to 500 people. There will be a slow transition potentially. So being able to think of what you can do in your own life and business, of learning some new skills that you're going to be able to do. Things that might be coming up for you is that, you know, who are you, who are you to be sharing all of these things now online? I can't do this, it's too hard. Or, you know, I've been sitting with these types of ideas and I wish I'd done it sooner. I'm now competing against everybody now online. How am I going to have my voice heard? How am I going to achieve all of those things? Those are a lot of the things as our inner voices can be telling us. You know, you might absolutely have loved the in-person. And I know from people that are on here, very much all of what you would be doing was in person, like myself. And now having to think of that growth mindset of how you take that online as well. So changing one thing at a time is how you're going to be able to achieve that. So this is my 4 steps to help you on that journey of being able to just identify some areas in your life you might feel that you've maybe moved back into. So the first one is we want to become aware of where we're at right now. So step 1 is that listening to your inner fixed voice. that one that says that you can't do it and who's going to listen to you. Number 2 is recognize that we have a choice. We have a choice to change. We have a choice to grow and learn new skills. We have a choice to say, this is all too hard, I'm going to give up. Or are you going to keep going? Step number 3 is talking back to that inner voice that's telling you can do it, and speak to it with a growth mindset. What can I learn today? What is there something in this situation that I can learn? What is there something that you can do for yourself that's able to change some of that physical and mental well-being to be able to put yourself back in a growth mindset? So it is having conversations with those inner voices. And I know this morning, I've been doing the same, going from all of the things that I had planned, I was in control of, to now transferring things that is a bit unknown. And for a lot of people, it's fearful, it's confusing. And those inner voices are like, who are you to be, doing all of these different things? And I had to have a little conversation with mine today, and have a growth mindset of, we can do this. We can do everything that we used to do in person and do it online. So going back to that voice with a growth mindset. Number 4, step 4 is take action. Take the growth mindset action. What can I learn from today? What can I learn from this opportunity? What steps can I take to succeed in my life and in my business? Where can I go to ask for help and ask for feedback? And I think that's so important right now, is that having a look at other people and what they're doing. What can you learn from them? What can you ask them that they are doing that you would like to do? It's the same as what we were doing before. You follow the people that are an inspiration to you, that are succeeding in doing that. And for anybody watching live or replay, again, feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions and you want some feedback, you want some suggestions, then please contact me. I'm more than happy to do that, because we are all going through the same types of things. We all might just be at different stages, but we're all going through different emotions, different things that have changed in our lives, but putting little steps in place to be able to change that. So I'll put a picture of fixed mindset and growth mindset so that you can then see it, and then going through the 1 to 4 steps to be able to then move forward with that. And I just put in the text up at the top there, and this was from, just need to open it out there. And this was from someone called James Clear. And in my experience, the only way I know to change the type of person that you believe that you are, to build a new and better identity of yourself, is to do it with small, repeated actions. And I really resonated with that, is because before all of this happened, we will have an idea of who we were, what we do, how we help people in one area of our businesses and in our lives. And then suddenly it's like, well, who am I? Who is this person now? I identified with all of the things that I did in person. How do I transfer this over to become this person online? And it is about those repeated small steps, repeated actions that we reprogram our minds to be able to talk to that inner voice and with a growth mindset. And it simply could just be something that you want to do personally for yourself. There's loads of people, doing loads of things around the house, loads of things that they can do to grow. And I know for myself is that, we really are lucky in a way in Australia that we still have access to be able to go out and exercise, to be able to go for a walk, to be able to go to the beach. We don't know for how much longer that will be. However, we have to be grateful for some things that other countries don't have right now. And for me, it's like I'm actually going to really work on my mental and health and physical health by going out every day for a walk, obviously nowhere near people. But this is something that I really want to focus on, doubling up on my meditation, to really be able to help in that transition. But the way that I look at it is what can you do to help people right now? What can you offer? What's some tips of value that you're able to give to people? Because the more that we are in service for people, we start to be able to grow our mindsets because we're doing something that's outside our comfort zones. So that's just a little bit on fixed mindset versus growth mindset, becoming self-aware of where you are right now. And, you know, for a lot of us, we have a lot of time on our hands to sit with our own thoughts, which I know for some of us might be super scary to be alone with some of those thoughts. But some things that we can really start to put in place to be able to achieve and be able to succeed in some of those areas that we want to change. Reach out to me if anybody does have any questions on any of what we've covered. If you're watching this on replay later, let me know. I'll keep an eye on there. And just to let everybody know, on Monday, I am doing a free session, and I'm going to be able to give you some value around getting confident on camera, because I know for a lot of you that wanting to be able to do some things online, but maybe the fear and the confusion, anxiety of how do I do it and how do I communicate the person that I was to that person I am now on camera. So that is a free event. I will post again a link in here. You will need to register on Eventbrite for it because we will be doing it on Zoom, but it is a free event. So please join in on that because you will be able to take so much away from that and be able to, again, have that growth mindset of I have some tools now and I can start going online, get my message heard and really be able to help people in your field and really be able to benefit people in the current situation. So sending all my love to everybody. I am here if anybody just needs anything, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help you. And start with one thing that you would like to change to make sure that you're going into that growth mindset to be able to move forward in areas of your life. So have an amazing Wednesday, everybody. And I will be touching base again probably on Friday, just with some more tips and just other ways that we can connect with each other as well. So I hope that this has been helpful, and have an amazing day, and we will see each other again very soon.